Hey, how you doing? I'm Lawrence, this is LAWRENCEcanDRAW, and today we're going to be talking about the Wacom Cintiq 22. Yep, this might not come as a bit of a surprise to you if you looked at the Cintiq 16 that came out a while ago. There's two things I often say. Firstly, go for the best pen technology you can find on a drawing tablet. Secondly, bigger is better. So if you're going to choose the Cintiq 16 or the Cintiq 22, I would say go for the Cintiq 22 if you can afford it and if you've got the room for it, because the ability to see things bigger or have more of your drawing on the screen at once is obviously a bonus. Wacom have the best pen technology and that is their best stylus. That's not my opinion. The fact that Wacom Pro Pen 2 is the best stylus, that's just a matter of fact. Why is this going to be a very popular tablet? Well, like I say, you've already got that stylus, you've already got that screen size, but you've also got other things as well, like the screen itself. So, you've got 96% RGB, which, to be honest, that's pretty great. And it's not 100% Adobe RGB like the Cintiq Pro 32 over there. But I looked at the Cintiq 16 last time, which is 72% RGB, which I didn't think was much on paper. But when I actually had it in my hands and I looked at it and I worked on it, I was impressed. I was happy with that 72%. So actually 96% RGB, do you know what? I think I'm going to be happy with that as a professional. So I think anybody coming in on entry level, especially when you're paying less for that, scratch that. No matter what you're paying for that, I think that 96%, I think you'll be fine with that. I think only a top level professional photographer with an eye specifically for colour will notice the difference between 96% and 100%. Because I know some real finicky people who still pretend that they can spot the difference, and they have a hard time spotting the difference. Realistically, your eye kind of calibrates itself to get used to imperfections in things like screens. So if you work all the time on a 72% RGB screen, your eye kind of tunes out the other, the other 88%. My maths is horrendous. The other 28%. It does. It really does. And that's the problem. So, yeah. I think you'll be fine with this 96%. I don't think there's any issue at all. Personally, yeah. I'm happy with 96%. I think that'll look great because I was perfectly happy with the 72%. I think you will be too. I think as well at 210 nits of brightness, I think it's not the brightest screen in the world, and I've tested screens that are kind of 500 nits, super bright screens going up to 700 nits, and they're fantastic, beautiful. But you don't need that. You're not going to be drawing outdoors in California. You're going to be drawing in your own, you're not going to be drawing in your own studio because this is an entry level. This isn't a professional. The likelihood is that you're going to be drawing kind of in your living room, on the sofa, or in your bedroom, or you maybe in your own like studio that you set up in the house. But yes, you're not drawing out on the go with this type of drawing tablet anyway. It's not a mobile studio. It's not a 2-in-1. It doesn't need that bright screen. But the compromises on this screen are where you are getting that price difference between this and the Cintiq Pro 24. And to me, that is kind of the big difference. That is the important thing. And I think that kind of makes it worth it. You're getting that same professional pen, the stylus that you get on the Pro range, but you're getting a lot cheaper because you're making slight differences to the screen itself. So for me, totally, completely, all worth it. Next up is the stand. Now, I looked at the stand when I looked at the Cintiq 16, and a lot of people said the stand is the same stand that people have seen on other tablet manufacturers' tablets. And yes, it looks like a similar stand. You know, the shape of the design overall kind of looks similar, but the main difference is that their stands are not made of the same quality materials as these materials. So it's only when you kind of get a stand from another manufacturer and you get the Wacom stand, you kind of hold them side by side and you look at them and you kind of go, oh wow, the Wacom stand feels like holding 5 of those. And yeah, the difference, you know, the Wacom is metal and it feels really heavy, and yeah, you can feel the quality. And that's when you kind of think, actually, I don't mind paying for the Wacom one if it's so different in its quality. But what's nice here on the Cintiq 22 is they've actually included it in the price, because for a 22-inch drawing tablet, you kind of want that. The Cintiq 22 has legs that you can open, you know, so you don't need the stand all the time. But those built-in legs open up and allow you to stand the Cintiq up on its own to 19-degree angle like that, and that's pretty good. But if you use the stand, then you get from anywhere between 16 to 82 degrees angle with the stand, which is much better. If you're used to these kind of stands from other brands, it's not that. It looks identical, but it's just made out of totally different stuff. Now, I did already point out the fact that you should go for the tablet with the best stylus possible. In this case, it's obviously the Pro Pen 2. But I also want to add the caveat that, you know, you've also got the option of the Pro Pen 3D, which is my favourite stylus here. Yep. Yeah. Moving the eraser from the end to the front, and also just feels a little bit different, which there's just something about it I prefer. I'm not a 3D artist, you know, I'm experimenting, move the studio around, doing a bit of VR. I just like this. Still waiting for a Wacom VR pen. Put your thoughts in the comments. You've also got the Wacom Pro Pen Slim. I haven't tried one yet. And you can also use the previous generation pens like the airbrush, so on and so forth like that. You know, they all still work on this as well. So you've got a few options there. If you've got some older ones in the cupboard you want to pull out, you've got to have something to use for your shortcuts, be it this, or say a Wacom keyboard or any other keyboard, or if you're just going to use kind of on-screen hotkeys, something like that. I've got a few videos explaining a variety of options, you know, ideas, things you can do. I, for example, use all of these things. I just use different things for different applications, different ways of working. Depends how I feel on a particular day when I get up. A surprising thing about the Cintiq 22 is that this has very slim bezels. Now, a lot of people prefer the slim bezels of the Cintiq 16 and Cintiq 22, obviously, whereas I've always loved the big bezels of the previous Cintiqs because they're good for resting your wrists on, you know. A lot of people wanted rid of those. Now, it does mean that if you buy a Wacom remote, there's nowhere to kind of put that. So it means that you'll have to hold it and draw at the same time. Or maybe it means that Wacom might actually give us that slim Wacom remote that, you know, they kind of hinted at with a design a couple of years back. We'll wait and see for that one. One thing you will also get is the pen holder and the nib remover and nib holder as well. So all of that is nicely bundled up together, and it just slots in the side of the Cintiq 22. It's really nice and easy there just to kind of get your nibs and kind of remove them, store them, keep them all together, and it just tucks away nicely. It's kind of simple, kind of classic, and you know, it means that you don't have to keep this disc shaped object stored on your desk. The nice fabric loop keeps your pen nice and safe. So I think in future, even something like, say, the Cintiq 32 Pro range might end up changing to something like this. I wouldn't mind if it did, but you know, we'll wait and see. I think the next mobile studio will definitely have something like this. I'll load all of the specs up as were given to me here for you on the screen, but everything included in the box is the actual Cintiq itself, warranty card, instructions, USB lead, HDMI lead, AC power adapter lead, and of course the stylus, the Pro Pen 2, and the nib remover with spare nibs and the pen holder all bundled up together. And that's about it. It looks pretty good, it's affordable, and it's a good entry-level start. I think if this would have been my first Cintiq where I started, I would have been a lot better of an artist than I am now. My first tablet was 2 inches by 2 inches, and it certainly didn't have a screen in it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is this a drawing tablet that interests you? Do you need more information about it? I'm going to get one in for review, so hopefully I'll be able to show you a lot more. For me, I think, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I want to know more myself. If this measures up in the same way that the Cintiq 16 measures up, then I've no worries whatsoever. I think this looks like a really great tablet. So, let me know what you want to know. Let me know if you're interested in buying this. Let me know what you're using at the moment, what you're thinking about replacing. I shall speak to you all very, very soon. Have a wonderful day and stay creative.